All right, so I wanted to basically just make a video on this girl who I think is a perfect example. Obviously, she's not gonna be, you know, every girl out there, but on the other hand, I think when some girls are like more vocal about, what they're thinking or what they're feeling, and some girls do not have a filter, if that makes sense. They don't have, they just say whatever they feel, they say whatever they think. Whereas I would say most girls, from my experience, they might think something, but they don't vocalize it because there's power in subtlety. There's power in, being sneaky. Whereas some girls, they just do not have that. They don't have that sneakiness. So I've been following this girl probably for about 4 years now, maybe about 4 years. I'm not going to say her name, and I'm not going to show you any of her stuff on Facebook, because last time I did that, one of my videos got flagged because you're not supposed to show people's names. So I learned my lesson. So I'm not going to say her name. I'm just going to talk about her. So basically, she's been writing crazy posts on Facebook for about the last 4 years. And I'm someone who used to write kind of crazy stuff on Facebook. I sort of took it and ran with it at a certain point. I think between like 2012 and 2014, I was posting all the time and crazy stuff, and it was weird. I was going through depression, and different things. And I think I became friends with her probably around 6 months before I stopped doing that. I don't know if there's any correlation there, but I don't think so. She has like 3 different pages, and I noticed that, she would say crazy stuff, and it wasn't like crazy stuff. It was just, she was really blunt. She would really speak her mind and things like that. And she's pretty hot. Like she's a Spanish girl, and she's pretty hot. She's into hip hop, and I'm into hip hop. And she was smoking weed, and I used to smoke weed and things like that. So we had some commonalities, and I was like feeling some of the stuff she was saying. I was like, yeah, that's true, that's cool, because she was just open, and she was using Facebook like people would use Twitter or whatever, just posting hella shit all the time. And but then I noticed like she would just say some crazy shit, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like crazier shit than I would say. Like I would post like spiritual stuff about the Bible. I would post stuff about my personal life, and I would post stuff about girls and things like that. And looking back, I'm like kind of ashamed of myself, because I'm like, damn, I did way too much. And I was using it as like a therapy session or some shit like that, and it was just like, dude, that's not cool. Like I was emoting my personal feelings on there, and I realized she was kind of doing that too. In some ways my shit was more crazy than hers, but on the other hand, like, it's a good look into like female behavior and how they really think and things like that. And she's just your typical female, talking about men, talking about how men should have their shit together, talking about how, she doesn't want no broke men, talking about cheating, talking about sex, talking about, how she's very sexual and all this shit. And it's just like, taken as a whole, it's like, well, she's probably what these average girls out here are. What these average girls out here are doing. And it's like, on the one hand, like, I don't know, like, I don't have a problem. People get it twisted and get it misconstrued. I don't have that much of a problem with women being sexual. The problem that I have is all the other shit. I have a problem with hypergamy. I have a problem with the double standards of modern feminism. I have a problem with gynocentrism. I have a problem with just the lies and all the shit that these women do, to protect themselves and things like that. So someone like this who came along, like this girl who came along, and she has no filter, and it's like, it's, in a way it's kind of a breath of fresh air, because it's like, yeah, this girl's not being sneaky. She's not covering up her dirty deeds. She's just being open about it. Obviously, it's a little out of pocket. Obviously, it's a little embarrassing. You know, I'm actually a little embarrassed for this girl because, you know, she's just airing out her personal dirty laundry like crazy, and she doesn't give a fuck. And it's like, what's wrong with this girl? Like, who raised this girl? And I go on her page and I see that I see her mom and her family on her page. And well, she's got a few different pages, so I checked out, I'm friends with her on one page, and then I checked out her other pages that I'm not friends with her, that she really doesn't use these other pages, but I see her family on her other pages, and they seem decent. Just from their pictures, they seem nice enough, you know. It's like, what happened to this girl? What's wrong with this girl? Why did she turn out the way she did? And you got to just say, well, I guess it's society, you know. And it's not so much that I'm harshly trying to judge her. It's just that if I was this girl's father, I would look at her and I'd just be like, damn, what's wrong with you? You know, stop, shape up, you know, stop being so loose, stop being so, you know, stop talking so much, stop being so nasty, stop talking bad about men, stop talking about sex and being all slutty and all this stuff. And so anyway, turns out, like I said, she's really good looking. She's a Spanish chick. She's got beautiful body, her wonderful curves, huge tits. I mean, she is gorgeous. But she's just so ratchet. Like, anyway, so she's a stripper, right? So she's a stripper. I didn't even know that. It took me a long time to figure that out. She was working some side business where she was into hip hop, and she was trying to be like a hip hop promoter or some bullshit. And I'm like, there's no way that she's making any money doing that. And it turns out that her main hustle is stripping, and you can make a lot of money being a stripper. So she's an independent girl, meaning she takes care of herself. She pays her own rent. And she's always smoking weed. She's always getting high, and she's well, you know, always, not every second of every day, maybe, I don't know, but she used to make a lot of weed posts where she would like post videos of her smoking weed and things like that. But maybe she doesn't smoke that much, because you can't smoke a whole ton of weed and still like be a normal person. If you smoke a lot, then you're gonna fuck your shit up. But I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that, but that's always something that's like confused me, is like, how do people even function when they smoke a lot of weed? How do they even have lives? Because I could never do it. But when I was smoking weed, I had no life. Like, all I was doing was getting high, and that was it. I wasn't improving. I was just like, I was just fucking high. So, but then I guess it affects people differently. But anyway, so she smokes weed occasionally, at least, and she's always talking bullshit about, you know, her boyfriends and sex and men, and how she's always in her, you know, she's always hating on men. She's always in her emotions shit. I'm like, well, dude, what do you have to offer? You know, it's this age old bullshit that these girls are always doing, is they're sleeping around, they're slutting around, they're choosing and chasing bad boys. Now, mind you, this girl is in her 30s now, and she still looks good, so she takes care of herself somehow. She has got really good genetics, where she has figured out how to eat well and you know, take care of herself. At least she's physically fit. You know, mentally and spiritually is just shit, obviously. So she goes through these men. She's dating. She dates a guy, then she dates another guy, and she's just your typical fucking homie hopper. She's your typical carousel rider, and she's always complaining about it. And she's got at least 2 kids. So I'm looking on her other page, and one of her posts says, for all those creeping on my business page, trying to collect evidence against me for my son's dad, this is my family page. My work page has nothing to do with my family page. That's why I created it. Good luck, though. I mean, this is public posts that she posts. So I'm looking on her family page right now. It's like, she's got a decent family. Like, her mom looks really nice, and I don't see her dad, but maybe that's the problem, right? Maybe her dad's not in the picture, but she's got at least 2 kids, grown kids, basically now. Like, her daughter, I think, just got married or some shit. It's weird. Her daughter's like 22. Her son probably is like 16, 17 now or something. Maybe not even that. Maybe like 14. Because I'm looking at this picture from 2014. He looks about 11 or 12. So he might be like, who knows, 16 now. Anyway, so, and she's a stripper. His mom is a stripper. She smokes weed. She dates these dudes, and she's always complaining about men. Now, one of her I want to read one of her most recent posts. And like I said, I'm not necessarily hating on this girl. I'm not necessarily hating on girls who are sexual. It's just all that comes with it. Like I rarely ever meet a girl who's real sexual and that's not fucked up. You know, it's just like it always goes with it. Now, obviously, us in the red pill community, you know, we have strong opinions and strong feelings about girls who sleep around, and rightly so, because like I said, a lot comes with that, right? A lot comes with, you know, females being loose and promiscuous. It's not just cut and dry like, oh yeah, I can go out and have sex and everything's gonna be fine. Like they always get fucked up. Now, mind you, this girl's in her 30s and she's bomb. Like she's got huge tits. She's gorgeous. I don't know how the fuck she stays gorgeous, but she does. Anyway, somehow she stays gorgeous, and you know, I don't know. She's a stripper, but she just makes it. And I'm looking at her pictures and I'm like, fuck, she's hot, but she's just crazy. Everything she's you know, everything she posts is just crazy. Now let me try to, my Facebook is acting up right now, but I want to read this post, this recent post that she made. If it'll let me, let's see. Okay, so it's coming up here. So she makes posts all day long, right? Let's read. I'm trying to get to it. Right about here. Here we go. So she says, I'm so tired of hearing, quote unquote, now imagine if a man did that, y'all would be in an uproar. Please shut the fuck up. Men have single-handedly destroyed almost the whole damn planet. Y'all have caused more wars, death, and have spewed evil all around since the beginning of time. I don't give a shit what a woman does as long as it's not to children and old people. Y'all men have destroyed women too. What the fuck, man? Like, what a fucking cop-out, man. What a dumbass cop-out, right? And of course, some guy in the comments goes, not all men are the same. So this is the equivalent of some guy saying, women are all fucked up, and then some girl saying, not all women, though. And then she goes, that's what they all say.